Alright guys, so sorry about that, some sort of technical thing going on. It's Mercury retrograde, but here we are. So if I was going to trade, which I'm not because it's Mercury retrograde, likely I'd still be holding calls for, well, I'm still holding my calls. September 30, 415 calls, September 25 calls, September 30, 425 calls as well. And then I got 398 puts, but those are obviously far outside the money. Still made money on that spread though. And so the reason I would likely get in here is because we've got looks like we've got a trough towards the end of the day, and out of the trough we have a move to the upside. What I find interesting is we have the success card and we have the worry card here. We've got the success card and we've got the worry card here. So normally I would have said, hey, end of the day success card, success here in the low position. This is likely a higher day, but I don't really sense that. And I think the fact that we have this worry card here kind of like counteracts that. It's no longer like so relevant to me. But we should see a move higher, successfully turning resistance into new support. And then sideways price swings into the close. Testing. Just want to make sure it's not too loud because I think I might be shouting a little. And you can see here's a pop higher. Most likely a pop higher here in the last few minutes. I also am an artist, guys. Check this out. I made this lantern. It's an alchemical symbol, so fire, air, water, and then earth. There's a combo of all three of them. I love this lantern. I make all sorts of gemstone lanterns. And artwork as well. We're actually going to launch a website for mystical surrealism, which is the type of art that I do. How's the month of October looking like? Appreciate it, Besa, really. I mean, it's hard to say the depth of the move in October. Let me see. That's Bitcoin, excuse me. Where's October? I guess I don't have it open. I mean, I'm not sure if about a stock market crash per se. I mean, it's easy for me to see there's like a drop here, and then it looks like we come back to high. So I don't know about a crash per se, but there's a decline over the weekend of the. There should be a video on that BlackBerry. Didn't I do a video on BlackBerry? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a BlackBerry video. Let me check. Oh, maybe it's scheduled to come out. Let me see. Yeah, it's scheduled. I'll just release it right now. Oh. There you go. There's a BlackBerry video for you. It was scheduled for the 13th, so in 2 days it was coming out tomorrow. No big deal. Appreciate the support, Besa. You know, like another thing that we can do is we can take a look at other stocks that I did October for. So let's see, and you can see if there's like a cross reading. That would be called a cross ticker. No, that would be a cross reading congruency. A cross reading cross ticker congruency. Really crossing some stuff. But what I'm talking about is, if you find multiple readings have they're saying similar things over the same amount of time, then likely there's some sort of really big move. There's a drop there from TTO. What is this? Looks like there's a bit of a drop there too. Maybe not as much, but it looks like there's a little bit of a drop there. We're looking at the weekend of the 21st to the 24th, if you guys are wondering. Where are my Octobers? So that leads me, see, this is very helpful here because we've got a high here in the third week of October for Amazon. It's pretty congruent with what I see on the S&P reading. And then the S&P reading gets a little choppy here around like the 25th, 6th, 7th. There's a high congruency and low congruency, or high correlator there and a low correlator there on the S&P one. That's September. Where did it go? What the heck? Okay. Sorry, guys. See, so over here we've got some like a high correlator and a low correlator. It leads me, and it's a little bit difficult to read, but it leads me to believe that we've likely got a low here, rather than there being so much of a high. I mean, there'll be like a crest out of it likely at the very end of the month, but this is likely a month's low over here. That makes it a little bit more likely to be like just a down. And what you got to understand, guys, is S&P 500 has a pattern that forms with Mercury retrograde, right? So if you've watched my videos or you've been on here before, then you realize this. So it started on the 20th. This is the first shadow. Let me just do this with a vertical line here. So Mercury retrograde shadow started there, and it finished there. Now we're in actual Mercury retrograde, and like I said, what you see is a reversal right around these moments, or near these moments, where we have the going into this shadow and then the actual reversal moment at retrograde. And what you see is the reverse pattern of this. Right now, it may be on a downward trajectory. It's not exact. You have to keep in mind, it's not exact. Weekends can really kind of throw the pattern off a little bit, because the pattern has to do with the influence over the days moving. Like there's like 10 days or 14 days before retrograde and 14 days afterwards, and they have like equivalent kind of energy. So one day out from retrograde and one day before retrograde, they both have the same energy. 2 days out from retrograde, 2 days before retrograde, they have the same energy. But the thing is that they won't line up. The trading days don't line up the same way. So the pattern's not going to be exact, but what we've seen so far is exactly as predicted. We see a reverse version of this pattern, right? And so when we go back into shadow, excuse me, let me make sure. I think my date is off on when it actually, it was the 9th, not the 3rd, right? It was the 9th. Let me fix that. And that's really more on point with the reversal too, right? So we should see like a big move higher, and you can see, so we had weekends, right, which really threw off some of this bearish energy that we would have seen here to make it more congruent, but what's the word, symmetric. But in any case, we're going back up, and the thing is we're on a really strong downward trend right now. If that's the case, then this pattern may be more like this, like we go up and then we have that drop, and the drop may be bigger, and then we go up some more, and maybe we only hit these like resistances. That's very likely. But what you see a lot of the time with retrograde is you'll revisit the price levels going into and when you reverse. So like we went in right around here, we're most likely very likely we're gonna revisit this level 419 relatively soon. That's October. I was talking about October before. Sorry, guys. I'll come back to it. Yeah. So we should see some. Look at that. So we should see like some bullish move into like a high here, and then off of the high there's like a dip and then another high. Interesting. So the post shadow, guys, is from the 3rd of October, or the second or the 3rd. What is it? The 2nd to the 16th. See, the amount of days is even a little bit different, right? Like, because it's stretched a little bit more on going into it on this retrograde. This is an exceptionally long retrograde. I believe it's 8 weeks of influence. Usually it's 6, maybe a little less. But so right now, basically what we should see, what I'm getting at, guys, is there's a couple variations of what we could see here based on what we've seen in the shadow. Where's my doodle? Right, so we could have this. But it's going to get pulled. It's going to get drawn out. All right, so what happened here? That's one variation, right? Let me move that out of the, oh, can I move that out of the way? No. All right. And then another variation would be like this. And then what we'll see between these two dates here, between the 2nd and the 18th, or the 16th, excuse me, is a very similar kind of thing going on. So wherever we are when we go into it, whatever, we'll be at some sort of crest very likely, or just came off of one, or just forming one right around here, around the second, third. And then from there, we should see, wherever that ends up being, that price level, we should see a pretty notable drop. Now, if it's super, super bearish, what we'll see, rather than like us coming back here and revisiting these prices, is we'll see, that's bad. We'll probably see, like, rather than having it be a full-on mirror image, because we're on a low, like a strong downward slope, and what happens here will really indicate for me how strong of a downward trend we're in, like on a multi-day scale. If we finish around this, if we finish the retrograde period right here between these areas, these two dates, right, between the 9th and the 2nd, right? So if we finish up high around the same price levels that we had here, that we fell from when we first went into the shadow, then not as bearish as one might expect. If, however, we have something where we do a similar pattern, but it's skewed to the downside like this, that would indicate to me that we have a really strong downturn right here through this period. I would expect a reversal right around the 3rd. Maybe before the 3rd, like because there's a weekend there, I believe. And then we should see the completion of a notable drop lower right around the 17th. Appreciate it. I think as far as hitting a year's low, that's not year to date. What's going on here? There we go. That's year to date. So I think we likely hit a year's low here. However, if we don't hit a year's low, then we've already hit the year's low, and that would have been back there. There's a very strong chance that we revisit that. Let's check out the last retrograde real quick. So the last retrograde was 510 to 63. $5.10. $6.3. Now we have the shadows. We're on 426 and 618. $426, $618. So you can see this is a much smaller period of time for retrograde. This is more what it's like than one at a time. We're in a very long one. But look at that. We had a sharp drop here, right? We had some sideways and a drop sideways, right? Then what we had in the middle was very similar in that we had it finish higher at the far end, but we had fallen so far that this didn't bring us back up to those price levels. It brought us back up to the resistance level that we are utilizing as resistance, if that makes sense. By that I'm talking about see that? So in the first shadow we dropped hard, then we did a reversal where we kind of had a bit of bullish, but it didn't bring us back because we were really in a strong downturn, right? And so now we're back in. Let me get rid of some of these guys. I don't know why that one's not going away. All right, so that's what I'm thinking we're probably going to have here, and that's going to tell me a lot. So when we come up on the second, when we go out of retrograde and we're back into the post shadow, if we finish at price levels that are similar to where we fell from in the pre shadow, then I would say we've probably already hit the bottoms for the year. However, if this price level is lower, like we see a similar thing going on here, right? Like we came back a bit. We did like a reverse kind of pattern of the pre-shadow, but we were in such a downward trend that it didn't bring us back to the price levels of the highs. So that'll be a similar thing. If we see this pattern here, right, where price level is lower, much lower than it was when we started in this period, I would say we have a month's low somewhere here between in that post shadow between the 2nd and the 18th, or this, what was it, the 16th? 16th. Hey. Hey, Rose. Welcome. Yeah, so you could see, and what happens is we end up revisiting similar problems. So like this retrograde, some of us are revisiting problems from that retrograde in the retrograde we're in now. Yeah, okay, so very likely that we hit the year's low there, guys. It's possible, and this is also keep in mind, guys, we have, I believe this is the third of 3 major fake outs that we have in the S&P 500 that were predicted in the 1-year review. So just for those of you joining, this reading was not 100% accurate. I want to be 100 like upfront. I leave them up. Good, bad, ugly, right? This was almost 100% accurate. What we had here towards like May and June, rather than us having a year's high, we had a crest that kind of formed there and some bullish behavior there. So I was off on the year's high, and that's what will happen when you have a significant trend in one direction. Like it'll overwhelm the behavior. All right, so we had a fake out in the end of February. Looks like a pretty good fake out here, right? So the next price level is really like, I mean, you could say maybe right here. And we broke through that as well. So the next one you would think is this. It was a significant fake out for the year, right? And why do I say we had a fake out on the chart? Because the yellow correlates to the devil card. The yellow highlight correlates to the devil card. All of our trades for the year are highlighted around the devil card as well. So there's a significant trade here. We had another fake out. What was this? This was around the low in May. Yeah, so look, we broke through these, and matter of fact, the timing of the low for the year was a little bit off. So really, this fake out was really in the end of July. It looks like. Is that the end of July? I believe it's the end of July. So we had a month's low correlated here in early July. It ended up being like here in late August, and then there's another low and another low. So very likely we see the year's low this month. It's kind of like pushed forward a little bit. So we want to be careful for a fast sudden move to the upside. This is a fake out, so we're probably going to break through a significant price level and make it look like we're going much further. We'll probably break through this. Since it's a fake out, matter of fact, yes, that's some pretty strong information there. So because there's a fake out at the low here, it's very likely that we do in fact have the year's low here in September. And we did have a correlation here to a year's low. It's just early September, so we're a little bit off. But that's the thing, each of these cards here is a timeline card. The ones, if I just go horizontal, not these, but the ones in between, right? These are timeline cards, and they each stand for about 2 weeks of time. So we're a little bit off here. We have a low in early September on here, and a fake out in late September at the low. So matter of fact, it looks like that's likely in the low for the year there, in the midst of that fake out towards the end of the month. But be careful, because there's a fast sudden move to the upside. Remember that. And we're also in the midst of the retrograde period. Highly recommended that you do not trade during retrograde. When I lose my money big time, it's during retrograde. It's like my power goes out at like the one split second that I should have been able to place a trade, and then like I never see that opportunity again. You know, like things like that happen during retrograde. Like people come and like need to like repair your office space. There's a flood. You know, all sorts of crazy things. It's just, life happens. It's highly recommended. Fat finger errors. Every time I would get flagged for the 90-day pattern day trading rule, it would be during retrograde, because I made like an accidental trade that screwed everything up. Highly recommended that you do not trade, or if you have a plan, if you had a trade plan that you set into place prior to going into retrograde on the 9th, you should stick to that plan. Don't deviate from the plan. But retrograde will make it seem like you really, really, really need to deviate from the plan, and then it's going to bite you in the ass if you do. So it's really tricky, guys. Really tricky. Yeah, you got it, man. They're fast to do. Am I the only one that feels like a ton of stuff happened this weekend, but like there was a ton going on, but nothing happened, I should say. There was like a ton going on, and nothing came from it. Am I the only one? I feel like it was like weeks ago, and really it was just last week that I was talking to you guys. Appreciate it, Philip. So the fake out's definitely going to make it look like, I mean, it's very, very likely, I don't like to use the word definitely, but it's very, very likely that the fake out is going to break through this price level here around the 370 mark. Especially if we end up lower when we go into the retrograde. So if we're like lower, if we're down here rather than up here, if our price level's like down here when we go into this post shadow, then boom, straight through that price level likely, and that'll be the fake out. So don't get faked out by that. There's a huge trade opportunity there, because what happens is everybody's getting faked out. Fear is huge. When fear is huge, if you're trading options, that means the premium on your options is huge. Volatility makes the premium on options. Why is it doing that? Wow, good old retrograde. It's not coming back. It's like frozen. Okay. Wow, it's like legit frozen. Yeah, so tomorrow, let's take a look at tomorrow real quick. Where's my, oh, here it is. So a decline that offers an opportunity to open up a long position, that would really go right in line with what we see. Let me get rid of this Amazon one. Got too many readings on my screen. Somebody was like, oh, what's the stock doing? I was like, I did a reading on it. I couldn't tell you, though, because I did too many. I can't remember. Did way too many readings, guys. So in September, right, we've got a high here and a high here. So I've got those calls lined up to expire on the 30th. Right, and this is pretty much be bullish through September, and then towards the very end of September, we should see. Wow, I don't have the. Oh, I do have the moon's mark, so the new moon's there. We should see this like sharp decline off of a peak or crest that we have here, unicursal. So this is on a unicursal on a 1 month chart for the S&P is much. It has much more magnitude or gravitas, if you will, to that of a unicursal on a 1 day, if that makes sense. The scale is different. It's much smaller scale. Now, what's interesting is that. Wow, my computer's being such a pain in the butt right now. Come on. There you go, unicursal on the 28th. That lines up pretty well with this unicursal on the 27th. So my plan, my Mercury retrograde plan was I purchased that straddle, and I'm planning to sell the call leg of the straddle at the peak somewhere around this 23rd through the 26th, like towards the end of the third week somewhere most likely, and then I'll wait until we're out of retrograde, and I'll open up another position, or right on the moment that we go. We go direct out of retrograde, I'll open up a position or double down on short position that I purchased prior to, and then ride it down again. Oh, it's already, yeah, it's you don't want to sign contracts now, guys. Philip, don't sign a contract unless you absolutely have to, man. And if you do, I had to move during a retrograde, and I knew enough to know that I needed to negotiate. I was opening up a second office and moving into a personal space during one retrograde, and I knew enough to get a clause on the office where I rented it for 3 months. And then after the 3 months, I was going to sign a 1-year lease, and the guy was cool with me doing that for whatever reason. He was cool with it, and what happened is I ended up not moving in, and the thing was just vacant for 3 months, and then I went out of business. It was an awful story. My partners took my business. I lost everything, but it was just if you've got it once, if you made it once, you do it again, right? But yeah, you really don't want to sign contracts. If you do your best to find ways to clauses that allow it to be temporary, for you to back out. Just whatever you can do with it in mind that there's going to be changes made, or you're going to change your mind, or there's a better opportunity or option that's going to come along. You really do your best not to make big purchases, not to sign contracts, not to make any life-changing decisions. Don't quit your job during retrograde, or maybe you quit your job during retrograde. I mean, I've always been a don't work for somebody else kind of guy. Okay, well, in that case, I mean, you since you're the one doing the renting, you have the rental. They're renting from you. They're gonna sign it and be kind of at your mercy, right? So if you have in your lease that you can get rid of these people, they don't have to like be there the whole year or whatever, or like, I'm not saying that they're bad, but you need to be able to just like have a decision there where after retrograde comes along and you like rethink the scenario, or maybe they rethink the scenario, there needs to be a way that you guys can get out of that lockup. You'll see what I mean. Or it could be like another tenant comes by and they're super, super awesome, but the place is filled now. Things like that take place, you know. It's not always a bad thing. It's just you have to understand that it's not going to, whatever you expect when you do something during retrograde, whatever you expect to come of it is like the one thing that's not going to come of it. You know one thing for sure. What you expect is not happening. It's going to be something different. I'm going to get some water, guys. Yeah, that's a smart move, dude. That's a smart move. If you can do, sorry to call you dude, it just slips out. But if you can do like a short-term lease with them, like that's highly advised. Highly advised. Like I did a 3-month lease and I got out of it. It was a super long retrograde. It didn't last 3 months, but like the influence was pretty long, and I was able to get out of it without a problem. It was super, super helpful. When opportunities, sorry guys, hold on a sec. When opportunities happen to you, they appear on the day of a retrograde or within like a day of a retrograde, of like the station when it turns retrograde, it's very, very likely that by the other end, by the other station, that will be, whatever it was will be done with. Yes, 100%, Philip. Good advice. On what list are you talking about, Soul? Soul Me? Is there a stock that you want me to take a look at, Soul Me? Let me know what you mean by list. What list? Alright, so I was looking at other Octobers to see, where did it go? It's so weird how it just disappears like that. I didn't close it. Alright, what else do we got? I did a lot of cryptos for October. Did I get into those? I think I did NVIDIA. I didn't do NVIDIA for October. Okay, AMC I did. Yeah, high here. It might be a tech-related thing because I see a crest here again at the end of the month as well. There's a dip. There's an important trough on Monday. What's the date of that day? I believe that's the 24th. Without looking at my calendar, the fourth Monday of the month. There's a trough there. That's AMC. No. Yeah, see that? A high there in the third week, a low here early on, and then another high. So there's going to be some real volatility there. Interesting. And there's a unicursal there for coin as well. So anyhow, as far as tomorrow goes, yeah. So what's your question? Just go ahead and ask. No, there's no like line. I'll get to it. No big deal. I don't think I've gotten to CCJ in October yet. I might have the spread done, but I haven't done the markup for it. I believe. I may not have gotten to it. There were so many that I did. Let me see. I got a lot more to do still. Yeah, CCJ I didn't do. I have CJJ, but not CCJ. I'll get to that. I put that on the list. I'll tell you what's coming out so far, what I've already done the markups for. Yes, I really don't have that many that are completed. I've got the S&P for October done. I've got Amazon done. This is like recorded. That's about for recorded. But as far as ones that are lined up that I've got like an actual reading photographed for, AMC, Avalanche, Apple, Bitcoin, Coinbase, Ethereum, gold, MGM, Netflix, Nvidia, OXY I need to put on that list. I just lost my list. What happened? Alright, what else? Shibcoin, silver, Tesla, TTOO, XRP. There's a lot more to come. And CCJ's on the list. Let me highlight that one so it gets done. Yeah, we are, Besa. I agree. You guys are like fam. What's your question, Soulmeat? By all means, ask away. I started this cool tracker. So I know like there's 3 steps to each reading. And then there's also a TikTok video. So like I know what's been done. And what I started doing is with these 10 years, like right here, I know that on a 10-year chart, I want to purchase I want to get it bullish on AMC in 2022, right? And sell that position in 2024. So I started doing that like down here. Meta, Meta stock. You want to sell in 2022, buy in 2024. Meta stock was not looking good, guys. I don't think like it's going to be as big of a deal as they're making it out, or maybe some other company makes a big deal out of it instead of the old Facebook. But it wasn't looking hot for Meta. Let me know if there's any other stocks you want me to do for October, guys. Yeah, so likely we have a move. Let's see. Devil. So there's a fake out tomorrow. Well, matter of fact, it's not correlated to anything. That's interesting. But we have a move to the upside in the pre-market and right around the open, and then it looks like very likely a pretty hard drop from there. Hold on a sec. Yeah, it's a lucky opportunity there in the morning. And we may have a gap down, is my sense. There's a gap down, but then we move higher in the pre-market. Then decline. There's a bit of a pop towards the end of the day, like mid-afternoon. And that success card is appearing quite a bit, guys. So maybe that is saying something. We could open up, like the success card could be tomorrow's low. Like if we open up super high tomorrow, like above where we closed today, I would say the success card price level would be our low. And then you see it again on the 14th, right? And it's a trade opportunity. So likely around that low. Ah, okay. Yeah, but there should be a little bit of a bearish action in the morning time, like bullish to bearish, then bullish, and then maybe bearish right at the end of the day. Oh, the ticker thing that I put together? Yeah. Yeah, it took me some time, but it's definitely going to make it helpful because, like, I was doing so many readings, I was forgetting which ones I'd already done, and then just wasting time doing, like, work that I've already done. I don't see any questions from Soul Me. I guess they left. Alright, guys, I'm going to log, and I'll probably be on TikTok later today at some point, so look out for that. It's Tarot for Traders, but with the number 4 instead of FOR. Much appreciated, guys. And remember, when you make that money, the rule of karma, you want to take 5% of those profits, pay it forward. Somebody who needs it, doesn't expect it, make their day. When you make their day, your day will be made. Watch 3 times over, right? And then 5% back towards us to help us out. We're doing a lot of work here. It's all free, guys. We're doing the best we can to help everybody. Much appreciated for those of you that have sent us cash apps. Like, you guys have no idea how much that's helped us. So badass of you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and then make sure whatever you spend the remainder, that 90%, make sure you spend it out of love. And the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Oh, wait. Mullen. M-U-L-N. And I got to alphabetize again. I love alphabetizing. Are you guys geeks like me? There you go. Alright guys, appreciate it, Besa. Love having you guys to help out and have you guys see all the stuff that we're putting together. It really is awesome. It's taken a lifetime to be able to do this, guys. And everybody's just like, nah, dude, like, you're crazy. Yeah, okay. I'll get a real job. I had somebody tell me I was an embarrassment to myself and the people around me, and that I should stop using tarot cards. And now what? Now what? Alright guys, I'll see you on the next